got the best giggle snort ever featured by Pinkie Pie. I do not like Gilda, and it turns me off of the episode. Gilda is such a horrible.
She liked it because Gilda gets her butt kicked.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't like the way she's just so rude to some of the best characters in that show, and it just kind of turned me off to the episode. I also don't like All's Well That Ends Well, because not because of Spike, but because I didn't like the fact that it was just centered around an owl, and how Spike got all emotional about the fact that he thought that he wasn't the favorite assistant and everything like that, and it just didn't seem characteristic, because Spike has such faith in Twilight, and Twilight is so nice to him that why would he even get so jealous? But I mean, I guess everyone has their faults in the episodes, so yeah, I guess so. We're gonna move on to another question, because I think I've read off everyone's favorite. Looks like it. All right, we're gonna go on to another question. Next question coming up is things you enjoy outside of Brony life. I enjoy games. I love video games. I mean, I haven't played a lot of video games lately, because
you've been working so hard and you've been too busy on the forum.
Basically, yeah. This thing has taken over my life lately, and I mean, I've tried to do so much on the forums. I've recently become administrator, so I'm trying to get a lot of stuff done, take a lot of the time and busyness off of the owner of the board, and try to shoulder some of that responsibility, as well as making sure that everything goes smoothly. So, and as well as Minecraft. I have been playing Minecraft actively, not as actively as some of the people on my server, but definitely have been playing Minecraft. I've got a Minecraft server up. If you're a member of the board, you can check it out in our games section under the Minecraft thread. Or actually, we have a Minecraft section now, and we've got the IP address up there if you want to sign up and play. Just go to friendshipismagic.org, sign up on the website, and have all fun like that. As far as video games though, I mean, I've got systems, I've got all the consoles, I've got my PC. I play all kinds of different games. I'll have to say though, my all-time favorite game is Fallout 3. Right now, Fallout 3 is definitely my favorite game. Did not like New Vegas. I know I'm gonna be hated on for that, but Fallout 3 was absolutely amazing, and I played all the expansions and had so much fun doing that. So what about you, Razor? Any games that you have favorites of?
Well, I am definitely a gamer, but let's see. My favorite is Final Fantasy VI.
Final Fantasy VI. Oh, that's one of the greatest games for Super Nintendo, or
been
Famicom.
ported to virtually every system afterwards, and has always been an awesome game. It's only gotten better since they started upgrading it with additional material. Yeah.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VI is one of my favorite Final Fantasies. Oddly enough, and I know people are going to hate me for this, Final Fantasy X, though, is my top one. And the reason being is just I just thought the story gripped. I don't care about
Final Fantasy X, the greatest movie I ever played.
It really is. And the thing is, people will always say, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII has such a great, twist to it, and I cried, and blah, blah, blah. Final Fantasy VII was great. Final Fantasy X's twist ending blew it out of the water. I'm sorry, hate me on it now. Post comments below. I'm going to defend it. I'm going to go ahead and list off some other people's favorite games. Trixie says that his favorite game is Fallout New Vegas. I didn't think it was as good as Fallout 3, but whatever, that's just my opinion. Sims likes the Mega Man games. I don't even have to see his reply to know that. So I can Mega Man games are amazing. There's nothing wrong with Mega Man. Astro Train says that he likes Final Fantasy VI. I don't know if that's his favorite. Anybody? Yes, you can add somebody, Kira. Anybody else have any favorite? No, Final Fantasy IV was an amazing game, and you're not the only one that's played it. I've played all the Final Fantasies. So
I'm currently going through the after years.
Yeah. Sim says his all-time favorite game is Super Mario 64, so I am wrong there. It's not Mario. It wasn't Mega Man. Tyrael is saying Diablo 2. Diablo 2 is absolutely great. In case anybody's wondering,
says it's Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. Okay. Twilight Sparkle saying NHL 11. That's a random pick, but hey, to each their own. Brony is saying Earthbound. I don't even think
Earthbound was good.
It was good. it was a different type of RPG.
Oh yeah.
Definitely a different type of RPG. Um, Tyrael, if in case anyone was wondering, his avatar is Tyrael from Diablo. So I mean, I'm not surprised that that he.
Diablo 2 was a
Yeah.
good one. I still play myself.
Um, let's see here. We're gonna move on to another question now. Because we've reading a lot of comments. I'm trying to get everything rolled out here before this podcast gets too long. Um, how has Friendship is Magic influenced your life? Go ahead, Razor. Answer that one.
How's it? How's it? Uh, about 8 months ago, I was pretty much a normal jerk, and mainly because I was just tired of how everything was the same, how everyone was rude to each other. Then suddenly one day, as I said in the last one, flipping through my new satellite provider, found the hub. Next thing was Friendship is Magic. Sat down. The very next day, I started paying attention to some of the memes and noticed the first meme was love and tolerance for every pony, and picked that up. Ever since then, I've just tried to live by those words. I've actually made a lot of friends since then, and I've ended up making a whole new group of friends at the college I go to. By the way, I missed this in the last thing. I'm what's called an eternal student. I go to school pretty much ever just to learn everything I possibly can. That's the majority of my life. Aside from that, the new group of friends has not. Most of them aren't bronies. There's 2 bronies in the whole group, and they're both female. I'm trying to get them to log on to the site, but they're just too busy with their other jokes. Yeah. Well, I've spent most of the last 8 months of my life getting back into shape. As most of the people on the board have heard, specifically Trib, since I've told him in private, I've spent the last 6 months of my life working out at least 2 hours a day, eating much better than before, and swimming in my pool at least 1 hour a day.
I'm jelly. I want a pool.
Most people want pools. I've lived with a pool in my backyard most of my life, save for one single house. I've moved a lot. I've gotten into shape. I started out around 330 pounds about 8 months ago. I'm down to 300. Most of the fat is completely gone from my body. I'm pretty dang ripped. My voice has changed a little since then, too, but that's mainly because my throat's opened up. I was kind of a blob about 8 months ago. That all changed when I got to Friendship is Magic.
Cool. All right, that's a good story. I mean, as far as myself, the way it's influenced my life, I'm going to keep this short. I lighten up more. I roleplay a lot more, too. I've got a bit of a temper. I'm sure a few people on the forums have seen it as well. It comes out. It comes out when one main button is pushed, and that's disrespect. So, and I've always been like that. But I've worked on that, and the show has actually helped in that because it helps you kind of take a deep breath back and say, you know what, there's more out there than just being angry. There's a lot of great stuff out there. So, as far as like how it's changed my mind and my mindset and my outlook on life, I mean, I'm positive anyway. I've always been a positive person. Yeah, I've got a bit of a temper, but I still have a positive outlook on life, and so it hasn't really changed that much. And I don't
You
know,
went from Pinky Mina to Pinkie Pie.
there you go. And I have role played a lot more. I didn't really role play lately. I mean, I hadn't been role playing since like back.
Since you became an admin.
Yeah, really. But since like old D&D days, I hadn't really role played a lot. But when I got on the board, and a little bit before I got on the board, and when I was on PonyChan, I role played Pinkie Pie. I gave it a shot. I was like, I don't have any original characters. I'll go ahead and try somebody I know. I'll use Pinkie Pie. If I'm not the best at it, so what? But I started posting in PonyChan, as Pinkie Pie, and I just use reaction images and posting things that she would say in ways that I thought she would say them. And I got a reply from a couple people that really made me happy, and one of the replies was, "Every time you post something, I read it in Pinkie Pie's voice. Bravo, good sir." And since then, I was like, okay, I'm going to take this somewhere. I'm going to just continue role-playing as Pinkie Pie. And so when I brought it to this board, I decided to continue that. And so it's really got my, I'd say my confidence level in my role-playing up a bit, and as well as my confidence level in everything else. Because I, honestly, before I started doing this podcast and before I started even getting with the forums, I wouldn't even get on Skype and talk to people. I wouldn't share my voice with anyone. I talked to Razor first, and after that I talked to Psycho, and that was it. No one heard my voice. No one saw my face. I keep very closed doors.
I'm honored to have been your first return.
Yeah, I really just kept back from like personal things like that. And
check the picture.
I love that picture. The picture from season 2. We're gonna link that picture in the podcast. Fluttershy, can you include that picture in the actual upload of the podcast?
That one.
Because I think that needs to go in there. But
Shout
anyway,
out to Body for upgrading it for me.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I apparently, I mean, I've been always reclusive about talking over the phone and over Skype and stuff like that. But when I started doing it, people were like, saying stuff about my voice and how I was fun to listen to, and I was like, it kind of made me feel more confident, kind of made me bust out of my shell a little bit. So I have all of you guys to thank for that. Every brony out there listening to this podcast, you have my personal thanks on busting me out of my internet shell, so to speak, and making me go from Fluttershy to Pinkie Pie. So that's for you guys. Mahala. All right, we're gonna move into another topic. Wow.
How many more questions we got?
We've got a couple more from Akira. Man, that guy's been asking a ton of questions. That's good stuff, though. Keeps us talking. And then we're going to move on to Season 2, and we're going to wrap things up after that. We had a guest that was going to come on tonight, DJ Alex. Unfortunately, he's been waylaid and hasn't been able to make it tonight. And Alex, if you're listening, we really miss you out here. We really wish you could have came. I apologize we used a little bit of your music in the opening. I hope that that's okay. I want you to know that we're all huge fans, and you are the reason I got into dubstep music. So you, sir, are a freaking genius. All right, we're going to talk about Akira's last few questions, and then we're going to go into Season 2. So these are going to be quick. Specific background pony that I like the most and why. Bon, hands down, and I'll tell you why. Because she's a little bit smart-ass. She's a little snarky. She's a bit like a Valley Girl mixed with Rarity. I love her attitude, and I hope that they keep that attitude when they feature her in the future. Zarb is saying that Carrot Top is his favorite. Carrot Top is a cute pony. I will say that. The orange hair, the carrots on the flank, she's just a cute pony.
Hair! I never.
I love that they colored her hair green in that particular part of the episode, and then she went back to orange by the time that Twilight was rescuing everybody from the Ursa Minor. What's your favorite background pony, Razor?
My favorite background pony is one that's had quite a few lines. Big Mac.
Big Mac. Yup.
Yep.
But one pony plus hundreds of apples just doesn't add up.
Go to your usual fancy mathematics medal to this issue.
Alright, anybody else? Any pony else out there got a favorite background pony? Octavia. Tyrael is saying Octavia is the best background pony. She is classiest background pony. And before anyone says it, she is not Pinkie Pie's sister until I'm proven otherwise. But she is cool. She is a great background pony. It's very classy. I love the looks in her eyes. She's always got this slightly closed eyes, like she is forever bedroomized. And so, like,
she's cocky.
She is. She's got a very cocky attitude, but not in a bad way cocky. She's got a swampy, like, I'm good at what I do, and there's nothing you guys can say that's ever...
I love when Pinkie butts into her and she slumps over and basically looking like, oh, really? Why?
I am far too above you, you Earth Pony, even though she's an Earth Pony as well. Granny Smith is Astro Trains, says he likes Granny Smith. Granny Smith's got attitude, and I like that. She's old, but she's so cool. I kind of wonder what her name was before it was Granny Smith.
I've heard a variety of things through webcomics and fanfics. A lot of people call her Old Tart Smith.
Old Tart Smith. Brony saying he likes Derpy. I'm glad